Alright guys, we're back again today with another multi-tool video. Today I got a good deal for you. A good deal that I found at Walmart a while back. It's another multi-tool. It came in a kit, which is always a nice little add-on. Although because it came with a kit, you probably have to spend a little more money to get it. But today we'll be looking at this multi-tool, this pocket knife, and then this flashlight. So, in my opinion, I think this is a pretty good selection. Multi-tool knife and flashlight, all very valuable things you could have. It is made by, I wonder if you can see it, Mossy Oak. Not a very notable company, but not a terrible one either. I would definitely buy from them if need be. I bought it for the low price of $20, which is very surprising for the quality that I got for this kit. I'll explain that later. Let me check something real quick. Alright, let's go over the tools. So, first off, we're gonna do the multi-tool. So this is a multi-tool. Remember that it came in a $20 kit. It is a fairly large multi-tool. I'll grab the Gerber NXT for side-by-side comparison. Width and length, it is a little bit wider, but it is just about as long. Thickness, it is substantially thicker than the NXT due to this little plastic shell. Not that it's a bad thing. This is much heavier than the NXT. Not too terribly heavier, but it's definitely heavier. Anyways, I really like this multi-tool right here. I think I'm going to start carrying it every day because of how well built it is and how many tools I have at my disposal with this multi-tool. Now, the kit really didn't come with any instructions or anything explaining the multi-tool, so I don't really know what kind of tools are in here. So we'll just have to take a look. So first off, we have a butterfly multi-tool. The tools open out to the side instead of from the inside, which is always a nice little thing. Instead of having rivets, like a certain other tool I reviewed earlier, it has these screws, which I do like a lot, actually. I like the look of them, and I like that they're a little more reliable and last a little longer than rivets. It does have a plastic shell, which isn't terrible, but as you can see, there's some paint that's scratching off at the top here already. Quite easily. Not terrible. Could be a little bit more ideal. But if you like things that look worn, this might be the deal for you. It is camo. Not a very good camo, but it ain't bad either. We got a pocket clip right here. It ain't terrible. It definitely would stay in your pants or whatever you clip it on. It's a good pocket clip. Overall ergonomics and shape, it's pretty good. Pretty solid multi-tool. Let's take a look at the pliers. First off, first thing I noticed whenever I open this multi-tool is how hard it is to open. It needs to be broken in. But other than that, I kind of like the fact that it's so tight. It does not have a physical spring in there, which is always a plus. It does automatically open, which is very cool to me. Good stuff. It has a similar design to the NXT when it comes to the pliers. Similar design, not quite the same. The NXT is a little bit, I guess it goes a little sharper than these ones, but that's not a bad thing. The pliers are a little bit thicker. It is also brushed steel, which I do like because it gives it more grip. It has wire cutters that cross over, which I kind of like. The pliers close up all the way. It isn't like the NXT. It is casted, so it is fairly strong. Another gripe I have about this is that right here, the oil, you can hear like the grease or whatever is in there. It feels like and it sounds like it has sand in it. Not a terrible gripe. That'll most definitely go away with time. Just a little thing I might note though. Good pliers, fairly ergonomic. Doesn't have very much give in the handle. Just a little bit. They're very comfortable due to how large they are, and because of that plastic shell and all these tools right here, not tools but metal sheeting right here, very comfortable on the hand. So I think comfortability is the main reason why I might make this my new carry. So let's take a look at the tools now. I want to close this back up because the tool is open from the outside. The first thing we got here is a regular knife. Now this is something I'm really excited about this tool. It has a regular knife that is a fairly thick blade, almost like an actual pocket knife blade thickness, and it locks in as well. It is also razor sharp. Yeah, that's pretty razor sharp. Probably the second sharpest knife I've seen on a multi-tool. Now to unlock it, there's these little plastic, or not plastic, these little shiny metal levers. You just pull them up, and then it unlocks the tool. I always thought that was a pretty nice little add-on that they put in there. Another thing I'm excited about is this cast iron Phillips head screwdriver. The shape is nice. It is not made out of polished steel. It is casted, so it has like some grip to it, which is always pretty nice. Looks like a solid design. Don't think that'd break. Don't think it'd wear away very easily. It's a good design. It's a good Phillips head screwdriver in a multi-tool. Next up, we have some scissors, which are actually fairly decent. Their cutting ability is on par with the NXT and the suspension Gerber multi-tool. If you can hear that. Here, wait. There's some good scissors right there. They're also fairly long. This method that they use to kind of like do a scissor spring is questionable, but it works. As long as you treat your scissors well, I'm sure they'll last. These scissors lock in as well, which is always a nice little touch. Then next up, we have a file. I will say that the file is not the best file I've ever seen in the world. We have a bastard file, and then we have cross file. The cross file definitely works. The bastard file doesn't work nearly as well. This is too thick to be a flathead screwdriver, so it definitely wouldn't be very well for that. This also locks in, very nice. Next up, we got a saw. This saw is fairly thick, which is also a good plus. It is decently long at about 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. It is actually really sharp. A little bit too sharp for my liking, actually. It is also made out of that matte steel that I also love. Next up, we got a flathead. Let me close this down because I don't like that. Very sharp. We got a flathead, locks in, nice and lined up with the handles, as well as that lined up nice and well. Flathead isn't too large, ain't too small. Good design, good shape. Looks relatively thick. It's a good flathead. Eesh. Alright, next up we got Next up we got a bottle opener and a wire stripper. I do like the wire stripper aspect. I am tired of stripping my wires with these pliers. It doesn't always work very well, and having that wire stripper in there is a good plus. This is a pretty good bottle opener as well. It's also a flathead driver. Not terrible. It's pretty good. And then last but not least, we got a serrated knife. Good for cutting rope. Anything that really is not very easy to cut with a normal knife. Has that matte finish to it that I also love. Also locks in, lined up with the handle very well, very ergonomic. It's a good knife. It's a good multi-tool. To be entirely honest, I think that this multi-tool is a 10 out of 10. This is basically the new gold standard. Because I got this for $20. It basically makes up for any defect or problem you might have with this multi-tool. This is a solid 10 out of 10. Anyways, next up, we got the pocket knife. So, we got a pretty normal pocket knife right there. Let's compare it. So, we got your standard Mossy oak pocket knife. There's something special about this pocket knife that I'll show you in a second, but let me show you a size comparison. This is the Benchmade Osborne. This is a fairly large knife actually for its size, or for how much it weighs. Fairly good knife as well. A lot of people are familiar with the Osborne, and there's people who would view this channel. Pretty standard Osborne, 3-inch blade, 3-inch handle. Let's take a look at this knife. This knife is also fairly big. Handle's about 3.5 inches maybe. Blade, it looks like it's also 3 inches. But here's the thing about this knife that I actually enjoy. It comes with extra blades. So, we got a changeable knife. It's really interesting. This is actually razor sharp. The blade is not very thick at all. But this, I guess, this spine, I guess you could say, as a blade would make up for how thin this blade is. It is fairly sharp, and the fact that you can replace it makes it all the much better. This handle is also very comfortable, very ergonomic. It is a liner lock blade, which isn't terrible, but ain't the ideal, most ideal. Has a screw, not a rivet. It is also that same painted camo material that would easily peel away, the same as the multi-tool, but I don't have any gripes with that, as long as the handle itself does not break. Alright, let's take a look at this blade system we got going on here. It says press down. I haven't messed with this very much actually. Oh, that's interesting. So we got a blade, and we just got the bare knife right here. Blade is very changeable, very sharp. It came with 3 other blades. Oh. These blades are also very sharp. Not bad at all, not bad. It is not a matte, but I don't care too much about the matte because they're changeable blades. I have nothing against it. I think the whole changeable blade thing is pretty neat. I haven't really encountered it very much with any pocket knives. This might be actually the second time I've ever encountered it with a pocket knife. So it's a really interesting concept to me. But I think it would do just fine in most settings. You don't have to worry about... You could take this thing to work, not worry about it getting beat up because you can just change the blades. Easy like that. And might I remind you, I got this in a $20 kit. Has a pretty decent pocket clip. Not bad at all. Pretty decent knife. Out of 10, I'd give it a solid, I don't know, 8. Mainly because of how good it feels in the hand and its ingenuity and its potential. You can just change out the blade whenever you want, just in case you mess it up. You don't have to worry about it. It's fairly lightweight. It is fairly large though, but I think the neatness of it makes up for that. It's a good knife. Good pocket knife. Next up, but not least, we have the flashlight. Now I actually really like this flashlight. The kit came, which usually doesn't happen, it came with 2 AA batteries, which just easily fit inside here. Just a simple put in the batteries kind of deal. It's good stuff. Screw this back on, and that's it. Nothing too fancy about this flashlight, just an on-off button. It is fairly small for a flashlight. This is something that I'll definitely keep in my backpack. And also, it is very bright. It just has 1 LED in it, but that 1 LED makes up. You cannot extend this or anything to make it sharper, but it is very bright. Let me turn up this light real quick. That's definitely about 1,000 lumens. Not as bright as the sun, but fairly close. I would have no problem using this flashlight on a camping trip or anything like that. Also has a low brightness mode. Then it also has a strobe mode, which is pretty nice. Pretty good flashlight. Yeah, I like it. It's a fairly simple design. Nothing wrong with this at all. Alright, so we got the entire kit here. Not a terrible kit at all. Came with everything I would ever want. $20 from Walmart. What's there not to love? Go pick up this kit right now. It's good stuff. Oh yeah, another thing. It came with a sheath. A sheath for the Multitool, which fits fairly snug. It is... Uh oh, did I put it in wrong? It is a nice Velcro sheath. Has a little button on it that clicks. Has the Mossy Oak logo. It is kind of hard case, fairly tough. Can't just crumple it in my hands like the other one. Has a belt hole loop as well. It's a fairly nice little sheath. I would definitely use it. Fits in there nice and snug. Closes up nice and snug. And that's it. This is the entire kit. Not a bad buy at all. I was fairly happy with my purchase, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Anyways, that's it for this video. Overall, this entire kit, honestly, I'd give this entire kit an 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Probably wouldn't get any better. You know what? Heck it, 9 out of 10. This kit could not be any better for $20, to be entirely honest. Anyways, have a good day.